The CrossFit Open 24.2 has been announced, and we're going to go ahead and party for 20 minutes. Our workout today is an AMRAP in 20 minutes. It's going to start on the rower. It's going to be 300 meters. And when I say it starts on the rower, 3, 2, 1, go, you'll be sitting on your rower, strapped in, ready to go, hands off the handles. And then when you hear go, that's when you can go ahead and start cranking out that 300. Everyone will do 300. There is no scales for the 300 meters. As soon as you finish 300 meters, you're going to get off, and we have deadlifts. RX today for the individual track is going to be 185 for the men and 125 for the women. If we are masters 55 plus and RX, that means you're going to be using 135 for the men and 95 pounds for the women. For the scaled today, scaled has a caveat, okay? So if you're scaled in the regular division, the weight for that is going to be 135 for the men and 95 pounds for the women. And for the scaled masters, 55 plus, that's 95 pounds for the men and 65 pounds for the women. Now, I said there was a caveat in the scales. If you are scaling the weight, you got to scale the jump rope, okay? So you're going to have to kind of think about that. If you're somebody who's, I really wanted to crush the double unders, maybe consider doing it RX, as long as you feel like you are going to be able to move that barbell safely, even if it makes it a little bit slower, okay? So we want to kind of keep that in mind as we're moving through this. Now, when we're talking about the deadlifts, there's 10 deadlifts each round after that 300 meter row. And that deadlift, I want you to flow through this. Remember, if we start to grab it in a different fashion and we are not kind of cognizant, that can really light up our grip. We're going to be pulling, and holding a rope in the hand, so it becomes very grippy here, okay? Now on the deadlift, the biggest thing that I want you to do is get yourself set up so that you can use your legs. Now, as we stand up, I want you to think about standing straight up, bringing those hips to the bar so that your shoulders, hips, and heels are in line. We're not going to stand back. There's not any need to do this, and actually that's going to disengage our core, and we're going to unlock our legs, and it's going to be very unsafe for the back. So as we deadlift, lightly tap, stand straight up. That's as far as we need to go, getting those hips nice and open. Okay, we don't need to open them up even more. As we finish that, go ahead and make sure that bar is set down. You're not trying to drop it too high because we don't want it to bounce around and mess us up for our double unders. If we have our double unders here, we want to make sure that we have a good postural position. Pull those shoulders back, chest up. Really focus on the rope doing the work, okay? We want to make sure that we are kind of getting through these 50 reps, okay? So RX is 50 double unders. You want to make sure that you are someone, if you have a hard time with it, have controlled breaks. If 50 double unders just really get you cardiovascularly, go ahead and break it up so that you're maybe doing 25 and 25, giving you a second to keep that heart rate down, and that way you can keep moving through all of these things in a good fashion. Again, we're going to be moving through this workout for 20 full minutes. When we get to the rower, if you end on the rower, you get 1 rep for every 10 meters, okay? So if you get 293, probably should have sprinted a little bit harder out of that, but that means you're going to get 29 reps, okay? So as we move through this, we want to make sure that we're aware of that. It's not a round up. It's you basically taking the first 2 numbers in that and going there. So every 10 meters is 1 rep, okay? So we're going to be moving through this for 20 minutes. You're going to hold on. You're trying to get into a pace. So after that first round, glance at it, see where you're at. If you're about 2 minutes around, you're going to try to hold on to that. We know that as time progresses, we're going to get a little bit slower, but we're trying to hold on so that We can try to stay consistent from round to round. You're shooting anywhere from 5 to more rounds as we go through this. And so just try to stay positive. If you mess up on your double unders, which we did see people do today, don't worry about it. Okay, collect yourself, regroup. It's just a fluke. And that if you're not so super focused on, oh, I'm going to mess up again, you're probably going to have no problem getting back into that double under rhythm. Okay, this workout's going to be interesting, and you are going to need to push where you can. So if double unders are slower, push the pace on the row a little bit, push the pace on the the deadlifts, so you have a little more time to kind of chip away at those double unders. You got it. It's going to be fun. And remember, above all, this is just a test. And tomorrow and next week, we're all going to have a new one. All right. So it doesn't define you. It should make you hungry for more and better.